Hi, this is Reg Athwal and welcome to another episode on Reg Athwal TV for book videos. And this is the book for today, Patrick Ellis's book. It's almost 500 pages of content and it's a best-selling book all about who dares sells, the ultimate guide to selling anything to anyone. This book is absolutely packed full of great stuff. It was published back in 2004. In my extensive library, I have about 4 sales books. I've got lots of sales books, but there's 4 books, and this is one of them that has made a huge impact on my sales ability over the last 30 years. I love the title, Who Dare Sells. It reminds me of being at school and someone says, I dare you, I dare you. Do you like sales? Do you hate sales? When it comes to what you do day to day, do you have to sell in some capacity? Because I'm a firm believer everybody sells something. Even a mother sells to her child to persuade or influence the child to do something. A husband and wife could be selling to each other or trying to convince the other to purchase something or do something. So I believe at the end of the day, sales is in everything that we do. However, when it comes to being a professional salesperson like this book talks about and being the ultimate in sales ability, there are certain techniques, there's strategies, there's tactics, and I'm going to share a few things out of this vast book of 500 pages here to hopefully give you a few good tips that you can use and also encourage you to maybe go and buy the book from Amazon or your bookshop. I want to start off with a quote. Well, it's more than a quote. It's more like a poem. It says anonymous here, but I think it's a really good poem. It says, "Don't you quit. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns. And many a failure turns about when he might have won if he had stuck it out. Don't give up. Though the pace seems slow, you might succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer then. It seems to a faint and faltering man. Often the struggler has given up, when he might have captured the victor's cup. And he learned too late, when the night slipped down, how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems afar. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. It's when things seem worse that you mustn't quit. I love that. Don't you quit. Anonymous, if anyone knows who originally came up with that poem and a few quotes there, drop it in the comments box. If you're into sales or if there's other books that you've read that you highly recommend, drop it into the comments section. Again, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. Let's get message out to people to inspire them and support them on their journey in sales and for their families and for their business. Here's another one that really got me. It's another anonymous poem. It's called A Smile. I believe in sales, dealing with customers, clients, we all have to smile. A smile is contagious. A smile can have a huge impact when you're doing business with people. So here we go. It's called A Smile. A smile costs nothing, but gives you so much. It enriches those who receive without making poorer those who give. It takes but a moment, but the memory of it lasts forever. None is so rich or mighty that he can get along without it. And none is so poor that when he can be made it rich by it. A smile creates happiness in the home, fosters goodwill in business, and is the countersign of friendship. It brings rest to the weary, cheer to the discouraged, sunshine to the sad, and is nature's best antidote for trouble. Yes, it cannot be bought, begged, borrowed, or stolen, for it is something of no value until it is given away. Some people are too tired to give you a smile. Give them one of yours, as none needs a smile so much as he who has no more to give. I think that's absolutely beautiful. Maybe look in the mirror when you're practicing your sales pitch. Okay, have a think about, you look at your facial expressions. How you doing? Is that smile coming through? Sometimes, I've been on stage as a speaker, and it's only until I watched the video back, I realized that I was a little bit serious on stage. Well, the same thing can also happen one-to-one for people. So make sure you smile, get it out. It's cost you nothing, and yet it has a huge advantage. How about the next section here? I've got one here, the 26 qualities of professional salesperson. So Patrick Ellis here, the author, has done a great job of summarizing 26 qualities. Now, as I go through these, ask yourself quickly, yes or no, or give yourself a rating from 0 to 10 maybe. 10 could be a high score, 0 could be a low score. How are you doing when it comes to these 26 qualities? Are you expressing them or not? So number 1, intelligence. Number 2, perception. 3, self-motivation. 4, enthusiasm. 5, integrity. 6, discipline. 7, resilience. 8, appropriate dress. 6, self-criticism. 10, empathy and love for others. 11, ambition to succeed. 12, punctuality. 13, ability to listen. 14, persistence. 15, confidence. 16, courtesy. 17, belief in your product or service, company, and self. It's a long one. I'll repeat that. 17, belief in your product, your service, your company, and yourself. So belief. 18, knowledge of your product, service, company, people, competition, and of yourself. 19, communication skills. 20, diligence. 21, sincerity. 22, loyalty. 23, do it now. 24, survivor. 25, cunning. And 26, excellence in persuasion, motivation, and negotiation. So those are 26 things. Maybe you may want to, replay this video later on and go through those again and just give yourself a score. If I was using this as a scorecard and there were 10 points for all 26, that's a maximum of 260 points. So what would you give yourself? And maybe think about what are the bottom 3 that you need to work on. Okay, what could be the bottom 3 that you need to work on? And where can you give yourself a pat on the back because you score really high? Where could be your top 3 that you score really high in? Here's another little poem. If nobody cared, if nobody laughed and nobody sung and nobody cared about anything, if nobody spoke a word of cheer to help a long day through, if all the joy went to the great and nobody remained for the small, then surely the world would be upside down and life hardly worthwhile at all. So I like that one. That's another really good one there. So moving on, let's get into a little bit more about why people buy. Patrick's got some good points in about when it comes to buying, behaviors, styles. He also calls them motives. So here's 30 reasons why people buy. Number 1, to satisfy the need to look and feel good, often to impress the opposite sex. 2, because they see it advertised somewhere. In today's world with social media, you could see the same ad popping up over and over again. Billboards, they say on average, if you see something 7 times, you're sort of ready to buy when you have that need. Some advertising. 3, keeping up with your neighbors or the Joneses. Someone else has got it, maybe I should have it. 4, to be in fashion or to be in vogue. So it's seasonal, it's a fashion statement in that time of the year. 5, to show their love and affection for others. 6, as a gift. 7, from a habit, it's habitual. 8, from a recommendation from somebody else. And I found number 8 very powerful in my business when it comes to family business advisory, consulting, being a professional educator. By far, 90% of my business the last 25 years or so has come from personal recommendations and referrals. I believe that they're priceless. If you do a good job and delight people, people will refer you. Number 9, satisfaction with past performance. You've got great performance in the past, so you continue buying again. Number 10, in order to sell and make a profit out of it. Most people do this today on eBay. Even books. I understand now people buy and sell books through Amazon. It's amazing. So especially old books that are not available right now, someone may have a copy and put a premium 100% markup, even more, and sell the book. So by selling something and making a profit, maybe to save time, money, and effort. 12, a buying motive could be due to persuasion, motivation, and negotiation skills of the salesperson. Let's pause on that one. How many times have you been window shopping? Definitely not during coronavirus, but maybe online you've been window shopping, and maybe the pop-ups or the way things come up on the screen, or in this case in a retail environment, you had no intention of buying, but the salesperson did such a great job and convinced you, and when you got home and you looked in the bag, you thought, how did I end up buying this? So I think number 12 is very powerful due to persuasion and motivation and negotiation skills of the salesperson. 13, to make a donation to charity. I think that's great. 14, for security and protection. Maybe it's become essential. It's a need. Think about someone who's got broken into. They're going to go and buy CCTV cameras. They're going to go and put an alarm system in their house because they need it. Something's happened. 15, for comfort and convenience. 16, for prestige and style. 17, because they're getting a great bargain. How many times do you see the classic, oh, it's 2,000, but just for today, it's going to be 997. I see this all the time, drives me nuts, but obviously it works. And it's a strategy that a lot of people have because people think that they're getting a bargain. 18, due to the persistence of the salesperson. I get accused of this over the years, but I do it in a professional manner, badgering people or being too persistent. But I do it in a nice way. My intro and outro is always positive, but sometimes you've got to follow up 7, 8, 9, 10 times with someone. And at the end of it, they'll appreciate by going, you know what, I really admire your persistence. Thanks for following up. Thanks for nudging me. So I believe persistence of the salesperson is really important. Most people, if they call somebody once, call someone twice, that's it, they're done. They're not going to call back again. They can't handle rejection. And a great salesperson, an ultimate salesperson, as it says here, is going to carry on persisting a lot longer than that. Number 19, to maintain competitive superiority. Number 20, to gain efficiency, increase value. So I lost myself there with the words. To gain efficiency and increased value is 20. 21, for better health, hygiene, cleanliness, happiness, and enjoyment. 22, as a contingency measure. Got to have a backup plan for things. Something doesn't work or gets bust. 23, to avoid pain, criticism, or trouble. 24, to avoid copying others. 25, to satisfy curiosity or appetite. 26, to be popular and gain praise. 27, to be individualistic. 28, to protect their reputation. 29, to make work easier. And 30, as a part of an expansion plan. That's a really comprehensive list. I thought I had a good comprehensive list, but now having a chance to reread the book again just for this book video, even I'm learning a few things and getting some reminders here of things that I've got to get back to maybe in the future. So I would say if you get a chance, go through the video again, list those 30 down, or as I said, grab a copy of the book and ask yourself, are you covering all of these areas or as many as you can? Because if you can implement 3 or 4 of these immediately, whether it's some of the ones that I've already mentioned, you could increase your sales for the future and be more aware of what the different buying signs could be for somebody who's looking to buy from you. So let's flick past to a couple of other sections, and I'm going to be done very, very soon with this video. Quickly, here's a simple acronym. I love this. When selling, the key word to think about is watch. So he's got 5 things they're using watch as an acronym. W is about words. Watch your words. A is about actions. Watch your actions. T in watch is thoughts. Watch your thoughts. C is for character, watch your character. And heart is the H in watch your heart. So words, actions, thoughts, character, and heart. He talks about being aware of these things, and I think that's a really good acronym that one could use. The last section that I want to focus on is a bit about dealing with objections. We all get objections. One of the things I've done in my company is try to list out as many things somebody would want to ask us, or sometimes they want to ask, but they don't ask. And it's best to get all of those down in advance. So it could be frequently asked questions, make sure you answer all of them. And in some cases, you've got deeper objections that could come up, and you need to be able to handle them. So here, Patrick talks about, when it comes to objections, either preempt the objection, kill the objection before the buyer thinks of it, or answer it immediately. And you can incorporate that into your pitch. So typically when objections come up, these are some of the following things that come up with objections that it's worthwhile maybe listing with your product, service, your company, getting some frequently asked questions down, get the answers to them, and also think about how you would handle these if you're talking to someone on the phone. Maybe it's through your website, maybe it's face-to-face. So objections could be around you. What if they don't like you, but they don't want to tell you that they don't like you? It could be to do with your company. It's around your product, your service. The product area could be certain functionality, technical things. You may want to list all these down. There could be a rumor or a hearsay about your company. Maybe they've done a Google search and found one comment that doesn't sit right with them. Maybe there's loads of comments. I see this a lot now with different videos on YouTube, such and such exposed. And it's amazing some of the hate out there that people have for people who are just trying to do their job. In some cases it may be true, but perception becomes reality. So what's the rumor or hearsay? Cost. It's a classic one. The amount of money required to run something, or price, the amount of money you have to pay to own it. Objection could be it costs too much. Well, it's just an objection. Maybe someone's just negotiating with you. Maybe they're comparing your service to somebody else's service. So you need to be able to handle that objection. Maybe it's around quality, reliability, durability, the packaging, competitive advantages or disadvantages possibly, the size, the shape, the color, the functionality, the weight, the chemical composition if that's relevant to what you're selling, suitability, reputation of the brand, your company, past performance, lack of desire to change. They don't want to change. They're happy with who they're working with right now and the supplier that they have. Seasonal demand could be the objection. Maybe the objection is around fear or guilt or jealousy or anger. Future growth potential may not be there, or that's their concern. Product, service, or idea doesn't satisfy their needs today. Unwillingness to take risks. Lack of urgency, and lastly, he's got cultural differences. I've been to certain parts of the world where if you don't have tea and coffee with someone for an hour, first, before you talk about business, they feel insulted. They feel they don't want to do business with you. In other parts of the world, if you don't get straight into talking about what you do, they think there's something wrong with you. So I think the last one, cultural differences, is really important. And maybe it's not an objection as such, but the objection could be, well, I don't trust this person yet. I'm not ready to do business with them yet. They don't really understand me. I remember in the Arab world many, many years ago where I had a dear friend of mine from a place called Abu Dhabi in UAE. We met many times, 7 times. On the 8th time when he came to my home and we had some food, and he said, you know what, Reg, I'm now ready to do business with you. And it was a cultural thing. So I think I've shared a few things with you, a little bit longer than I normally do with these videos, but I had to do it because when you've got 500 pages of great content, and Patrick Ellis, thank you so much. You've had an impact on me many, many years ago. And maybe on future book video episodes, I'll also bring in some of the other classic books, especially Zig Ziglar, and his sales system, I think, is brilliant. And I'll see if I can bring that into one of the book videos in the future. But for now, hopefully you're left with 1 or 2 ideas, something for you to think about. Because if you can improve your sales in this economy and tough times, if we can all get better at selling, hopefully we can bring in more sales, and that feeds everybody at the end of the day in your organization. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, subscribe, hit the like button, leave your comments, and see you next time on Book Videos. Thanks.